right, everybody, welcome to Mornings with Movers. You gotta want it bad as you want to breathe. That's just a determination factor. Obviously everybody else can use your own type of motivation, but if you didn't get motivated by that and want to get up, but all right, everybody. So again, I'm Dwight with Max Movement Training. We have Clifford Starks here, and we have Phil Diamond, all about moving Tampa Bay. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, you already know.
Ready to get it.
All right, guys. So today we actually have a special guest. Today we have Jae Burnham in the building, who's going to be hosting with us and giving us all the golden nuggets as we just fill the morning with some motivation. So let's get him up in here. All right. So Jae, okay. Welcome, Jae. Welcome.
Jae in the house.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right.
I'm definitely the ugliest guy in this room.
Say that one more time, Jae.
I said I'm definitely the ugliest guy in this room.
We didn't tell you it was supposed to be a color code. Cliffy wanted to wear red at times, didn't tell nobody. But for those that don't know Jae is the owner of Seven Figure Moving Academy. He actually has a Facebook group. He also helps train and motivate other moving company owners. So Jae, just tell us a little bit about yourself so these people can get to know you a little bit more if they don't know you.
Well, in a nutshell, I started a moving company literally from zero. I had no house, no money, very little experience. I mean, I moved a lot as personally, but never professionally. I did work for a moving company for like 3 weeks, but he never paid me. So I said, F you. And I saw what he was doing and I started my own company, and I started as a labor only company. This was in 2008. You guys are still babies at that time, but 2008 was the Great Recession. And I'm in Michigan, which is the hardest hit of all the states. And I started my business in around July. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in July. I started it. I started with moving helper and hire helper. And the first year I made nearly $60,000 gross. The year after that, I did 6 figures, took it all the way to $500,000, lost the company. Literally was homeless, had $1 to my name, restarted the company and took it all the way up to 7 figures. And I ran the moving company for about 15 years.
Nice. Definitely about, not giving up when times are tough. It's like finding a way is the way to go. And that's what, one of the things that we're going to hit on today is like, obviously this is not the start of the busy season that most of us has been expecting. We're like National Moving Month. Oh, we're going to be jam-packed. And some of us is like, yo, we still looking for work. Where's the work at? And, we just got to stay motivated. I'm sure that most of you are dialed in on your marketing or should be dialed in on your marketing at this point. You have your staff waiting on standby for you. You got the trucks in the yard ready to go. And it's just like, God damn, where's the work? And you just got to stay motivated. You got to stay positive. You got to still work on the pieces in your business that need to be tightened at this point. Don't give up on tightening those screws. Like, hey, make sure that you're not losing money in operations. Where it's like, hey, are we clocking guys in on the proper time? Are we clocking them out on the proper time? Hey, I clocked this customer out at 4:05 or 4:07, but I only charged her to 4 p.m. No, like if you're charging quarter hours, round that up to 4:15 or whatever the case is. Account for every single minute that you need to account for. I actually had this conversation with Phil this morning about, the difference between charging a trip fee and charging a fuel surcharge. Whether we should be charging for both or not. So understand your rates, understand your market, understand what leadway you have. Understand what each charge actually is. So like a fuel surcharge, hey, what it says, you're going to charge so you can make sure you fuel your trucks. a trip fee. That's going to ideally pay your movers. Maybe it'll cover some of your truck expenses as well. But if you are charging your truck by the hour, that could be covering your truck expenses as well also. So kind of like understand your line items and how they benefit your company. What you guys got to say about that?
Numbers, numbers, numbers. And Jay, it's an honor to be on the podcast with you. I've gotten to watch several of your videos. I love the real estate strategy that you have about you service a customer, record the customer thanking you for what you did, and then share it with their real estate agent. And then create those connections and those bonds. This is a game of relationships. And I value all of you because you all are about creating relationships. So yeah, I'm grateful. It's the numbers, but it's the numbers with relationships. That's how you win this game.
Gotcha. Mr. Phil over there a little quiet this morning. We're gonna have to wake Phil up. Wake up, Phil. But
he looks like he's just sitting right across the table from you. So
about to shake him.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, man, right before we went live, me and Dwight there was talking about kind of a little bit off subject. Excuse me, Jay. It's nice to meet you as well. I'm a little ADHD, so I bounce around a lot. Ooh, butterfly. But
squirrel.
yeah, I think we all have a touch of it, but I do admire you. Your story is similar to mine. I started with absolutely nothing in this industry. Of course, a lot of inspiring guys that I met, that I knew in the industry that had grown companies into they grew into franchises. I do want to set aside a little time to give my condolences to Chris Wilkert with Miracle Movers. He's a good friend of mine. He passed away last week. Having a service for him on Friday, tomorrow. Really good guy, but it kind of touched home on me because I've known Chris for several years. Last year, I lost another good friend of mine in the industry. Not to be a downer, but Wayne Ray was Coastal Carriers. Both of these guys were both guys that I've known for years, and they gave me the direction. I followed their path because both came from nothing, and I followed step by step kind of what they had done. And one of the biggest was customer service. It goes a long way. Old school business. Jay, I'm a little bit older than I look, but I know I look good. But this is a spray. This is a spray edge up. The girl, I told her, she cut out.
He got the LeBron.
That's what this is,
on.
too. This is a spray on bald look.
But old school business, customer service goes a long way. I think a lot of people are experiencing, like you said, Dwight, National Move Month. Everybody was expecting for a big boom. But there's a lot of other things going on in the world. We're aimed in a direction of another recession. I deal in the stock market. So, of course, in some other areas, I'm starting to feel it in a lot of different areas other than the moving industry. But, if we're doing good business, we're marketing where we need to be marketing at. So my strategies are a little different than everyone else's. I don't like my guys running up and down steps. I spoil my guys. I don't really market to apartment communities. When the housing market was high, there was no need. A lot of times, we charge top dollar. We're one of the most expensive in the area as far as hourly rate. And a lot of times your apartment movers don't want to pay that hourly rate because they're picking cheap over quality. But, we have to stay firm and stay connected with other moving company owners that's been in the industry 20, 30 years. They've survived some really bad times during 2008. That was a huge crash that a lot of moving company owners survived and some didn't. Some had to reset. But we learn either good or bad. I believe whether it's a good experience or a bad experience, we can always take that experience, either whether the failure or positive, and learn from that and grow from it from someone.
Gotcha. So what is that? I guess, Jay, since you've been through the reset, what does that reset look like? Obviously when you just got to bring it back and hone it back in.
Well, the reset's no different than when you're starting off as a startup with little to no money. It's that grind. It's the hustle that you got to get out there. You've got to, you just got to get out there and produce. I actually have a 5-step formula that, if you don't mind, I'd love to share with the group here.
Go ahead.
It's a really simple strategy, but it has served me well every time that I was in a situation like this. Right. Basically, your first step is to promote. So when you're in an emergency situation, you're in a situation where you have to really get out there and do something. Now's not the time to, just put an ad on Google and wish and hope that you get leads. Now's the time to promote and get out there and promote. And on a personal level, as a personal level or as an employee level, that also means produce, which means to produce at the highest quality that you can do, right? So as a company, you have to get out there and promote everywhere and anywhere and however you can with whatever money you have, even if you have no money. And one of my favorite ways to actually produce, which it has served me time and time again, is cold call door knocking. Grabbing up a bunch of literature that I have, like postcards, business cards, flyers, and going to every house that has a for sale sign, going to every yard sale that is saying moving sale, going to all the real estate agents, going all to the mortgage loan brokers, going to all the home appraisers, going to all the luxury apartment managers, and just knocking on self-storage units and just knocking on doors, leaving my promo and following up. It's a constant promote situation, right? There is an adage in the business, outflow equals inflow. So the more that you outflow your promotion, the more you're going to inflow, right? If nobody hears about you, no one's going to come to you and knock on your door. Right? You're going to be hard pressed to get. If you don't keep sticking that shingle outside your business, no one's ever going to know that you have the business there. Right.
Gotcha.
Right. So the second thing is you got to start changing the way you're doing business right now. We're in a very big situation, and it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. Our government keeps bailing out these banks that went into risky business, which is only printing more money, which is increasing inflation, right? If you adjust from 1973 to now, to adjusted for inflation, we are paying literally 2 to 3 times more for everything. Back when they were in a very high state in 1973. Right? It's really ridiculous, right? So we've got to change the way we do that. And the way we change our operating businesses is this: if you don't have systems and processes, you get systems and processes in place, right? This is the time to put your systems and processes in place and debug them, find out where they're not working. So if you got one that isn't working right, find out where it's broken and fix it. So you got to change the way you're operating right now.
So just to hit on that real quick, Jay. So what is systems and processes to you guys? And I ask this question because basically, not when people hear that, they're like, systems and processes. I keep hearing that, but what is it? Tell me, what is that to you guys? What does that indicate?
To me,
anyone, I can start, don't worry.
Yeah, it's about you do something and you're expecting an outcome when you do that thing. So you have a step-by-step process on how you go about things, and you know what that step-by-step is from beginning to end.
Gotcha. So Phil, I guess what's the system that you may have in place?
Um, our process is very, I try to keep everything somewhat simple. From guys walking through the door to, cranking up the truck and leaving. My sales process, I've been in, a lot of my background is in sales. My main focus, it always work, customer service. That always lead back to customer service, especially during this day and time. As we were talking before, and I run this through my guys over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it's hard. A customer will make it more difficult for you to be super nice because they are going through a challenging time and they think they want you to be their doormat. And I always tell guys, don't let customers run you out of business. Because the consumer doesn't know what it takes to run your business, right? So I want to touch on something. I do a lot of on-site estimates. I'm old school. If it's a nice job, I'm going to lay eyes on it because it also gives a little bit of a more personable thing, especially with our older community. Let's meet. Let's have coffee. Let's shake hands. Let's be old school. But
hold on, let me interrupt this with a broadcast, everyone. I think that we should be using go ahead. I was going to do a little commercial, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting prepared because I'm getting prepared for my mission statement for our website, right?
Nice.
Because a lot of my company capitalized on people's poor customer service. And of course, why are you have a moving company that somewhat of a 5-star company and we're a 5-star company? Why are you $30 more an hour for 2 guys? Why you? Right. And of course, that's kind of going to be our mission statement there because, of course, we're a great company to work for, period. Not just far as coming in your house, moving your furniture. I care about my guys. I want to make sure my guys are okay. I want to make sure that I'm putting them in a position to grow because I've got guys who've been working for me from when I started this business with no truck. They've showed their loyalty. And, it's very important to me that I show my loyalty back.
So let me ask you, while we're on that topic real quick, let me ask you with that, I know that you do your guys well. I know that you just got into the moving business. You're kind of working for the moving company yourself, Cliff, and Jay, you've been dominating the industry. So, it's one of those things where how do you schedule your guys? Like, how do you keep your guys, hours kind of like fulfilled or whatever the case is in that case where, they're not getting like 15, 20, 30 hours a week?
I always have busy work. Of course, turning, we're here in Florida, man, you should stay pretty steady. Of course, you do have a week or two here or there where you get slow. Clean trucks, wash trucks, let's paint, let's do this, there's always things that can be done when you have a fleet of trucks. There's always things to do,
Right.
and this is why you make sure that you're charging enough to your customers and you're not charging $100 an hour for 2 guys. I mean, it's ridiculous, because once again, let me go back to this. So had a customer, and this was, it was about 8,000 pound job, a local job. We quoted the job out and the guy was like, oh, and local is hourly billing. Oh, it looks like you're $1,800 more than this guy. Plus the guy, so when I did the estimate, he knew a guy that I knew that moved him before with another moving company. And he was like, oh, well, this is not his name. I don't want to throw his business out there. Well, John did it for this. And I said, well, Mr. Such and Such, I said, let me tell you something. John is out of business because he was not charging enough. I mean, and you know, and I didn't say it that way. I said, well, unfortunately, John ran out of business, you know, and when he sold his 15-year-old company, only thing he had was a trailer and $2. You know, not trying to backlash anyone or talk bad about anybody, but what are we doing this for? Why are we stressing? Why are we sacrificing our family's time to run a business if the only thing we have after 15 or 20 years is $2 and a trailer? You know what I mean? You can't even put your kids through college. What are you doing it for? Why did you sacrifice your family's time? Why not just go work for somebody else? Because one thing we cannot get back in life is time.
True.
You know,
Yeah,
and one thing I'm going to make sure of for my family's sake is I have a good relationship with my wife and my kids. End of the day, I don't put business over that, you know. But
so it is I would say it is a personal and business, you know, balance, the work-life balance that you want to kind of have, you know, and some people, not to shame on those that want to be a mom and pop type moving company. You know, if you want to have 4 trucks, 1 location, you be the head of the location and, you know, you kind of run it. Hey, if that's what works for you, because basically it keeps you sane.
yeah,
Don't try to compare yourself to the guy down the block that has massive storage, 20, 30, 40, 50 trucks. You know, fit within your niche of comfort and ultimately look to get uncomfortable to get comfortable again. But ultimately, you know, you never want to get stagnant. But at the same token, you know, keep your eye on the prize. Whatever your vision was, hey, I just want to work for myself, you know, until I retire or whatever the case is. That's fine, you know, but obviously have stepping stones. You know, always looking to keep growing, looking to make your operations a lot better, because if you're stagnant, you're dying. And ultimately, you know, you don't want to get to that point, but you don't have to grow that big either.
right. Well, you know, I think a lot of moving company owners, man, you know, a lot of us do come, like Jay said, we come from nothing, right? It's like throwing a guy coming out of college into the NFL and giving him 25 million. I mean, we're kind of the same kind of guys. I mean, you know, you take a guy that, like myself, got into the moving industry with no car. You know, me and my wife had a rental car. And you take guys like us, and then you give us 10 grand for that week. Like, whoa, you know, money management becomes an issue at that point. Not really used to it, you know, and I see it as I keep hearing all these moving companies closing down prior to a recession, right? The recession's not even here. You know, people are going out of business after COVID. COVID, you should have been busy. The housing market was booming. You should have grown. So what happened? Was we not charging enough? Were we just pissing away all of the revenue? You know, these are a lot of questions to ask with a lot of people that's, you know, kind of going through things, you know, as far as life, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, it's the truth.
Let me just say one thing that I have to agree with him. I think you were talking about, oh shoot, I just kind of lost it now. I hate when that happens.
Me too.
And then you're about ready to say, and then it just like goes away. It's just like, I'll remember what it is. You guys continue. Yeah.
So, well, Cliff, what's going on your
the game of leadership? You know, this is a hard game. You know, Jay, as Jay's telling his story, Phil's telling his story, Dwight, you have your story. We're fighters, and I went from one arena and just stepped into another arena, and ultimately, like as we talk about systems, it's easy to say that word. It's an easy word to say. Hey, we got to get our systems on point. But that's like, yeah, your sales system, your marketing system, your operation system, your financial system. And you got to be so on point. You got to know why you're doing what you're doing, why your numbers are where they're at, why you're charging what you're charging. And customers.
Really, that's easier said than done, because a lot of people that come into this business, they don't know what to look at.
Yeah,
You know,
easier
they
said
don't
than done.
know how to adjust it. Like, okay, well, hey, I got Quote Runner, I got moving.com, I got pay-per-click, I got newsletters, I got all of this marketing sources, and we're not making no money. We're not
Yeah,
bringing in no jobs. Our marketing
yeah.
expense is
Yeah,
12%.
that brings up something. There is no lack of leads. There is no lack of leads. There is lack of sales ability. There's lack of knowing how to sell and close. There's a lack of, having your systems and processes. Oh, what I was going to say earlier that just reminded me is, you were asking about what do you do with the guys? How do you keep them busy? Right. And your guy was talking and he was saying, well, there's always busy work, but right now is the time. Yeah, you can have them do busy work, but why? The first part of the formula is promote. Right now is the time to take your guys, get them in a nice uniform shirt, give them a nice ball cap, a clipboard, some promo, and go with them and go knock on doors. Go to networking groups, go to whatever it takes, but get the business. Cold call door knocking is one of the best things. You can generate $30,000 to $50,000 guaranteed if you pass out 500 to 1,000 pieces of promo and knock on 1,000 doors in the next 30 days. I guarantee whoever does it's going to get $30,000 to $50,000 if they do it. If they just go and do that, right? It's going to happen. So there's always the thing. But as far as systems and processes, a system. Part of your system should be your education, right?
Okay.
You should be listening to podcasts like this, round tables, joining your group and learning, right? So many people get into this company and they've got the arrogance that they can do better. They saw their boss do this and, oh, I'm so much better than my boss. You ain't better. Because you don't know the business. You're not even in his league. I don't care how piss poor he runs his business. As an employee, you're not even close to being in the league of your boss. Period. You don't know how to market. You don't know how to do finances. You don't know how to budget. You don't know how to set rates that actually makes it profitable. Right, Alex Hormozy just did a class, an hour-long class to an entrepreneur class in college class, and one of the things he said that really resonated with me that I had the same thought, but I never was able to put it in words. He says every business starts in debt. It could be financial debt, or it's knowledge debt, it's budget debt, it's marketing debt, it's you start in debt in one form or the other, right? And it's your job to get out of that debt, right? So it's just getting out there and changing your operating basis could be learning, going and picking up a book, like my book that shameless plug. I have the 7-Figure Systems book, which is a very quick book that you can get on Amazon. Go to Amazon, go to 7-Figure Systems, and I got a book that's only about 40, 50 pages that teaches you how to do systems and processes. And it gives you the entire breakdown of why you're doing such, right? It's not hard.
Go and get that book and stop playing games.
It's $5. If you can't afford $5, then you shouldn't be in business. You should just go get a job.
Right. All right. So we have a comment. Jalen Rock said, sometimes I think I'm undercharging me and my guys. We're doing a job and our client told us we should charge more in the future based off our quality of work, efficiency, and care for the customer. So how do you put a basis on quality or put a number on quality? I think it just comes down to especially specifically talking to Jalen, is one of those things is you want to know what you need to charge. Maybe 160, maybe 170 is what you need to charge, and maybe if you're already charging 160, 170, you're where you need to be at. So just because that one customer told you need to charge more, and hey, look at the next customer, they may say you need to charge less, So knowing your moving rate analysis, knowing your overhead, knowing, how many hours you operated the previous year, knowing your employee taxes, knowing your workers' comp, insurances that go direct to the job, knowing what your truck expense is to pull it out the lot for the day. These are all factors that you want to know to make sure that you are charging the right numbers. There is a video on my Learning Center page. If you go to maxmovementtraining.com, there's a video that goes over understanding your hourly rate and basically quote, knowing what your hourly rate should be. Also in the group, there's files that basically are spreadsheets that can help you with figuring out your hourly rate as well. You just need to know the numbers and basically be able to plug those numbers in, and basically you can use this spreadsheet to help you going forward. So I guess for you guys, or whatever the case is, I guess, is there anything else that people could be doing to try to prepare for this season?
Well, let me finish my my formula. I only got to point 2.
Oh,
right.
Oh, damn! I thought we was up to 3 ready. Okay.
Point 3 is economize. Right. So right now is the time your boy over there said that we're not in a recession. We've been in a recession for a long time now. Now, our government likes to change definitions of what is a recession, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to look bad, so they change the definition. And I don't care what side of the aisle, or, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. They all do it. They're just as despicable. And, they're all out for themselves. They're not out for us little guys, no matter what they say, especially during, election season. They'll say anything and everything just to get our vote. All right. But we got to the third thing is we got to economize. And what this means is we got to reduce expenses, and we've got and spend less money and reduce expenses. That also means, as far as employees, we got to start figuring out wasted time, right? Where's our guys wasting time at? And then we got to reduce those times. So when you reduce expenses is not only financial, but it's also time, right? So we got to really economize and really narrow down what we're doing, because we got to be really intentional about what we're delivering during these lean times, right? Number 4 is then now we got to get ready to deliver. And that means we got to get our guys ready. We got to get them more prepared, get them better training. Like your guy was saying earlier, customer service has got to be top notch. So what can we do to make our guys better, right? We've got to get them the training. We got to get them so that they train them up, make them salespeople after their job is done. Especially your crew leader should be selling other services like, hey, this isn't going to sell. This isn't all going to fit in your house, right? We've got storage. Let's sell you some storage. You know what I mean? Or, hey, I noticed you've got all these boxes. You're going to be unpacking for a while. Can we help you with your unpacking and upsell your customer, right? You got to continually be selling. You got to continue.
That makes sense.
Huh?
I was going to say, just to piggyback off of that, before I lose my train of thought, this ADHD is some real stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then finally, the last one is now we got to increase discipline. We got to be put in better discipline on ourselves, especially because the business revolves around us. If our business is in chaos, it's because it's a reflection of us personally. So we've got to increase discipline in ourselves. If that means waking up a little earlier and, putting our nose to the grindstone, our guys are going to feed off of our energy. They're a reflection of us, right? So if you're kind of lackadaisical, your guys are going to be lackadaisical, right? If you're a little bit slovenly, you're going to be slovenly. Your guys are going to be slovenly. Sorry. So we got to increase discipline. So it starts with us, and then it extends to the guys. And now this is also the time to start really doing some employee reviews. Getting rid of those employees that are a little bit toxic. If you don't have toxic employees, now's the time to get them to be a little bit more. And like your Phil said, this is, if your guys are loyal, you got to be loyal to them, right? So this is part of your discipline for yourself, is making sure your guys feeling appreciated as much. So discipline isn't just, hitting them with the stick. It's also hitting them with the carrot, giving them the carrot, right? So we've got to do those. So if we apply those things, promote, change our operating basis, economize, get ready to deliver, make sure that you got everything's in place, and be more disciplined, we will come out of this emergency condition in stellar fashion.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Did y'all hear me smacking when I was eating? Did y'all hear that?
Man, it's like a horse eating.
My wife just sent me a message like, "Hey, Phil, you're loud." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I can hear you smacking through the video." I'm like, "Oh, my bad."
She'd get along with my wife very well. I'll say that much.
I didn't hear a thing, but all I can ever hear is myself talk anyway. So,
well, going back to the ADHD, man, I was sitting here, dude, and Dwight's coming back. Thought he froze. I was sitting here, man, and I'm like wiping everything down, and because I'm in the showroom, and I've got a mop, and I've started mopping a little bit right where I'm at. I'm like, man, do you guys ever do like stupid stuff like this? I just curious, I just, like
it's never happened to me.
All the time.
All the time.
I would get in so much trouble in school too.
I get the phones thing. Everybody does it with the phone, but I've made a whole mop bucket while I've been sitting here listening. I'm listening, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to mop real quick. That way I got to do it.
All right, guys, I'm back. My apologies.
It's so funny.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome. We had a cut.
Spectrum like to cut people off.
Yeah. We had a customer came in yesterday and looking at buying some packing supplies, and I'm here mopping the floor. She was like, "Hey, is someone here to help?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Actually, is a sales manager here? I wanted to see about some moving services." Yeah, he's in the back. Oh man!
I would have been like, no habla inglés.
Yeah, he's in the back. His name is Bill, my father-in-law. I'm like, Bill, someone wants you out here. You know what, Jay? You definitely got a lot of good insight, and it definitely makes sense and clear. And I really never really thought about it. But it's good that we have this show because some of us miss some things, right? Like you were saying, like me, I just do busy work. I have them go to my house and freaking whatever, do some stuff. But we're not generally slow, but that made a lot of sense, man, because some guys that do have that we're paying, a minimum hours a week regardless. And some guys you just don't want going out passing out flyers. I think we all have some guys, not to talk bad about our guys. Some people are just not salespeople, But, I do have some guys that I could probably utilize in that area of expertise. And so I'm glad you did share that. It's the simple things in life sometimes when you're thinking way up here, it could just be something as simple as, you know what, here guys, here's some flyers, take one of the vans and go hit up some storage facilities. Right?
Absolutely.
Like the truth of the matter, it's always the simple things, always. And ultimately, like, that's awesome, Jay. You listen to Alex Hormozy, the guy's amazing. But the higher you can climb, the more you can see. The more you can see, the better actions you can take. And there's a saying, if it was easy, everybody would be millionaires and have six packs. But it's simple. It is simple. And Jay, you were homeless. It's simple. Shit gets really, really simple when you don't have anything. But when you have a bunch, it is an internal game. It's always an internal game. It's always been an internal game. But we're so busy looking outwardly and saying, there's this problem over here. No, I get an opportunity. bad economy, I get an opportunity. I'm broke, I get an opportunity. My health's failing, I get an opportunity. Life's about opportunities. It's always been. And when we can say, like, okay, where is the opportunity? Sometimes we got to say, where's the opportunity? I need to breathe. That's an opportunity. If you're alive, you have a chance. And when I played this game long enough, I was like, I didn't know what people were saying. They're like, Cliff, you have what it takes. And I didn't know what they meant. They go, you fought inside the UFC. I didn't know what they meant. What it is I'm not going to stop. This is a stamina game. It's hard. It's hard. And I respect moving company owners because I got to see, like, oh, there's this, but it's this. And when you can get this thing right, you win. And that's for all of us. You win. Look at the right things.
Yeah, I actually just to add to that, I forget where I heard it, but someone once said, life isn't what happens to us. Life is it's what happens for us, right? So one, you could be a victim and have that victim mentality and say, oh, I'm not successful because Elon Musk has all the money. He's rich and he's keeping all the money for himself. Or you could say, you know what? The system is geared for guys who are out there, right? The American dream is out there. Okay, so what do I need to learn so I can be like Elon Musk, right? Or you shoot for the stars. You might just hit the moon, right? You might not get the stars, but you might hit the moon, right? But most people don't even hit the stratosphere. They're still just learning how to get their 7-foot vertical, right? Right. And I'm white, so I can't even jump.
I think that comes down to the power network, and that just keeps coming up in the air. Like I went to a networking event yesterday and I met some really cool business owners or whatever the case is. And it's just like the power of your circle is everything. If you're hanging around that same friend that's been doing the same thing for the last 5 years or 7 years, and you are expecting different results, have fun, but if you meet the people on the next level, okay, and that's hard. I've heard friends and personal people say, yo, but we don't want to give up our friends that we, our day ones and all this other stuff. And it's just like, hey, I understand, but they'll get rid of themselves. Everybody weaves themselves out of your growth path. It's one of those things where it's like you start to get better, you start reading audiobooks and listening to audiobooks and reading books and stuff like that. And you start to see yourself on another level. And all of a sudden you start to call that person your day one less and less. And it's not intentional. But it's like, okay, hey, I'm focused on this. I'm focused on where I'm going. And oh snap, Phil is, he's giving me that insight where it's like, yo, he's on the same path that I'm looking to be. All right, I'm going to start to migrate towards Phil and start talking to Phil more. And it's not intentional to my day one. I have nothing against them. It's just, this is where I want to go. And mentally, I can't stop the change. It's going to happen, and you just got to keep, taking that network in. Don't resist it. Go with it.
Right. Look, there's a saying in the poker, right? If you sit down at the table and you can't find what the fish is, you're the fish, right? So, and how does that extrapolates into what you're talking about is if you're in a table full of fish, you're never going to be you're never going to be the shark, right? You're just not. You're gonna continue being a guppy. You might be the biggest guppy in the pond, but you're still just a guppy, right? If you want to be a shark, you got to swim with the sharks. That requires taking risks. That entire requires getting up every day and doing what you don't want to do and living the life that you don't want to have so you can live the life that you want to have later on, right? It's that instead of having instant gratification, it's delayed gratification, right? And we got to put in the work now so that we can have that life. right? There's no reason why in after 5 years, if you do what you need to do, that you can't be living the 4-hour work week. You know, if you got your systems in, you've got everything, you've got all the personnel in the right places, the right people in the right places. There is no reason why you need to be putting in more than 4 hours a week in your business. That doesn't mean you can't do more, but that's minimum you should come in. You should come in 1 day a week, do 4 hours, look at the statistics, ask what's going on, have a meeting, go, what are you running trouble in? What's the problems? How are you solving your problems? And go on out and fishing for the rest of the week. There's no
don't say that to Phil, because Phil, you want to tell us about your friend that's always on a boat?
Oh man. Boats and hoes, I guess.
I mean, but I'm being serious about it. There's no reason to really be making enough money to live the lifestyle that you started this business for, right? Because if you just started your business like Phil was talking earlier, if all you got is a trailer and $2, really, are you really in business? All you've done is created a job, right? Which is fine, but why not just go get a job? Get that, go get a paycheck, go get your workman's comp, go get your benefits, just get a job.
And be at home at 4 o'clock. Don't worry about that.
Right. Exactly. Why put you through all the stress of being in business when all you end up with a trailer and $2?
Right.
That I would probably buy off of you for like $3,000. Start being generous.
Oh no, they evaluated that at 300,000.
Oh yeah. Well, I got the website.
Yeah. I had a guy asking me if I wanted to buy it. He told me, "Oh yeah, man, I was doing $4 million out of 3 trucks a year." And I'm like, yeah. I got to listen to it for a little bit, and I'm not, the smartest guy in the damn world, but I ain't the dumbest neither. I might not be the sharpest damn tool in the damn tool shed, but I am in the damn shed, motherfucker.
I was born at night. I just wasn't born last night.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, this is a local guy too, and I'm listening to this bullshit, and I'm like, yeah. How much you think my company's worth? Nothing.
Are you saying, Phil, wait a minute, are you telling me people exaggerate? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Those damn 3 trucks about to be gone all 24 hours a damn day. We in the same industry, right?
Yeah, I had a guy here locally that was trying to sell his moving company. All he had was 1 truck that was broken down. And I go, okay, I'm interested. How much do you want for the company? He goes, I want $300,000 for my company.
Shit.
I'm like, you want $300,000 for your company and all you have is a broken down truck? Yeah, but you're in the business. You know how much money we make. I'm going, how many people do you got on your emailing list? I don't have an email list. Let me see your profit and loss. Hey man, if you're not interested, I'll go sell the thing.
Yeah, he'll come back. Give him $300.
He's still a 1 truck Chuck.
Come back a week later and give him $300 for his cell phone, though.
For his cell phone, right?
Yeah, for his cell phone. Sorry.
No, so ultimately, it's going to come down to, I know Phil mentioned something about customer service today when we was having a private chat. And Phil, if you want to elaborate on that story real quick.
Sorry, I'm eating a pork chop. Sorry.
Looks good. You got a little on your lip. There
Right.
you go.
I'm saving that for later, man. That's lunch.
Hell yeah. My wife said, here, take these 3 pork chops to the office so we can have them for lunch. But I done ate all of them. She gonna be bad as hell.
That's why you can't bring lunch, because they're never making lunch.
And then I made a mistake of not taking and putting it in the refrigerator. I put it right here beside this desk. So what I've been trying to do is, real quick, is during the show, I'm trying not to keep nothing around me, because if not, I'm just messing with shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, this computer monitor's dirty. You know what I mean? But yeah. touching back on the squirrel, freaking raccoon, anything, you know. But the so yesterday I went to Best Buy. I bought some security systems and like a TV or whatever, right? And so one of the cameras don't work, right? So I pack everything back up and take it in. And I'm a very patient person. I'm not an impatient. I know how it is. There was another young lady in front of me, so I waited, and this night. So I walked up to the counter, like, she's like, "How can I help you?" And I'm like, I just need to bring these not computer, but the security system back. Oh, what's wrong with it? I'm like, this one doesn't work. Okay. I'm like, well, do you have any more in stock? I don't know. I'm like, bro, is this true? And then she's like, well, I have another customer. And I'm like, am I not a customer? Am I just like fucking invisible? Like, is this real? Is this reality? But
they want $20 an hour and a living wage.
Yeah, and the thing of it is these people know this shit, dude. People, the customer service has completely went out the window because people are like, well, they're not going to fire me because they don't have anyone else. I'm just going to show up and then I'm going to be a bitch all day, and they're going to deal with it, right? And I mean, but it wasn't just her. So then I went to I bought something else and I checked out at another register, and the young lady, it was the young guy. He never even acknowledged that I was even there. He didn't say the price or anything.
Truck number 1 key. Middle here.
I'm sorry?
Truck number 1 key. Commercial lock.
The yellow truck?
No, it's the white one. Number 1.
So
That one? It's that one.
in the meantime, while Mr. Phil got distracted with normal.
Oh, sorry.
He found that squirrel.
Well,
When I talk about opportunity, this is an opportunity. I love the fact that customer service sucks right now, because now they make it so much easier for a customer to have a good experience. And there's a cycle, and the cycle's just going through. It's supposed to. Hard times make tough people. Tough people create good times. Good times create lazy people. And the cycle continues. It's part of the game. And when we get the opportunity, and that's what I say, the opportunity to be like, wow, if the service is like this here, imagine what I can do. If I create a good experience for my people, because you're right, your people and your people are your customers too. The people that you choose to say, hey, I want to give you money because you give me value. That's the exchange. That's what's really supposed to be happening. Not, okay, can we beg? Can we get on our knees? Can we be your slaves? Please, can I just have $1 because I need to eat? Because I need, no. My value is more important than your few dollar bills and your attitude. And when we can know what we stand for, the people, and really know it intentionally. Why are you charging this? Why are you doing it this way? Why do you package this way? Me and Curtis, we have a very mature group of people from the cells to when the laborers get there. They know the game. And people want to be around people who know the game. They want to be around experts who can do it better than they can do it, and who can communicate why they can do it better than you can do it.
And see, Cliff, we can't have you talking. You be setting the bar way too high. I'm like, damn, what do I say after that? Like,
Well, here's the thing. When we die, what's on our gravestone? It's the impact we have created, right? It's like, he was a loving father, brother, husband, etc. It was the impact that we created. That's what we're remembered by. That's what we're thinking. It's not, I think, well, he worked for Walmart for 10 years. That's never on our tombstone. Right?
You don't want that resume on the tombstone, I'll tell you that.
So just to really add to what Clifford's saying, it's like, customer service, yeah, I love it too. I love when my competitors or other companies have bad service, because not only does that give me the opportunity, if I'll use Clifford's words, gives me the opportunity to have better customer service.
That's
They
right.
also set the bar so low that even if I have a bad day that day, my customer service is going to be so much above theirs anyway that people are going to go, oh, he did such a great job. Oh, so it's like, be that jerk, right? I'm going to create an impact, right, to my customers by giving a better exchange rate than my competitors. So I totally agree with you, Clifford. I think what you're saying is spot on. Our reputation is one of the first and foremost things that we should be building in our business, right? Other than
Now-
getting the first sales job, other than getting a job, your other important thing is not doing the move job. It's that impact that you create, right? You can do a decent job or a fair job, but if you create a good impact with that customer, you really go, and really make that customer your friend. You could have a mediocre job and they're still going to give you 5 stars and promote you to the moon. So it's creating that impact. It's getting that customer service, right?
Right.
Yep.
And I would say to that is, guys, don't look to reinvent the wheel. At the end of the day, if you're getting the feedback from your customers, hey, the guys were moving a little slow, or the guys were, they didn't wrap everything. Whatever feedback, negative feedback you get, entice that. Don't be rebellious. Like, oh, my guys will never do that. Bring it in. Understand that your guys aren't perfect, and basically look to improve on it. Now, don't nitpick and say, well, hey, this customer said you guys forgot to close the garage door, or you guys forgot to put the trash in the trash can at their house. Don't nitpick, because it's too many important things in this business that will help move a needle forward versus nitpicking on the small things. Now, obviously, the small things can add up to, etiquette, but it's one of those things where, hey, have a meeting every so often. Hey, guys, so, don't go in the customer bathroom and do number 2 in the bathroom and you leave the door open when you leave the house. Okay, that was that conversation you might want to have in orientation time. There's a time and place for all this conversation. So make sure that you're addressing that stuff, making sure that you're always using that feedback, that negative feedback, to improve your service. Maybe you are a company or a great owner who know how to keep your 5-star rating on Google, where it's like, hey, we always got 5-star. We always got 5-star. Maybe we're that company where we're kissing the customer's ass or whatever the case is, and we're going to get that 5-star. So if something happened, we're paying $1,000 to try to fix something that they technically had 60 cents per pound on. Maybe you're that company, and there's nothing wrong with that if you want your 5-star reviews, but entice, make sure you understand why you got that. You could have got a negative review, and understand how to go about fixing that. So that's my 2 cents on it. I know that we are at the top of the hour. So Jay, did you want to leave anybody else with any more feedback for preparing for this season?
No, I'm just some dumb fat white guy over here. I'm just listening.
What about yourself, Cliff, before we take off?
I actually have a question for you. And it's going to be hard because I want you to lock it down in 1 or 2 sentences. But you made it to an extent, and then you lost it, and then you made it again. When you lost it, what made that loss happen? And what would you do to make sure that didn't occur for the audience?
I got hooked up with some people that I shouldn't have. I got involved with some things. And I got a ticket for not having insurance on my vehicle. And I gave the big FU to the police, and the police then arrested me, and I spent 2 months in jail. So, and because I didn't have systems and processes, and I didn't really manage my money properly when I got out of jail, the people that I was around me, they stole all my stuff, and my landlord had kicked me out. And I literally had nothing at that point. So I had to start over. So
No, thank you for sharing. And yeah, I just want to throw it out there to the audience. Pain moves us, and ultimately, we just want to keep people out of pain. Like that's why leaders lead. They don't want people to go through the pain that they had to go through. I've gone through my own sets of pain, and I've had to backtrack and say where was I messing up? And it's always with a system or a process or an internal game, you know. So I wish everybody luck on their journey. I know everybody's running their own race, and hope you're getting value out of what we're doing for you. If you are, like, share, and let people know that we're coming to support people and supporting ourselves along the way. So thank you, everyone.
So on that note, everyone, so, again, we're going into a tougher time. Obviously this summer may not play out the way we all want it to play out. Continue to dial in on your systems. Continue to create processes. Fire yourself from every position. So if you were a mover or a driver, fire yourself from that position. What do you want your mover doing? What do you want your driver doing? What do you want your sales rep doing? What do you want your dispatcher doing? Fire yourself from these positions, but have it on paper or on a digital file. Hey, what do these guys do if I'm not here? And basically you can start to fire yourself to the point where you fire yourself out of the day to day. Don't go on the truck. Oh snap, my driver didn't come. I have to go on the truck. That is a mindset. Figure it out. You don't have to do anything. But if you're subject and you're trapped in your day to day, you will. And that's one of the things you want to do, spend the time doing this summer, guys. If business is there, great, capture it. But if business is a little slow, use that time for an opportunity to really grow in your business to the point where you can grow outside of your business. So on that note, everybody, thank you so much, Jay, for joining us today.
thank you.
And we'll see you guys next week on Thursday. And yeah, if you got any questions, definitely Jay's in the Facebook group running a profitable moving company. Obviously, this is the only area we're broadcasting in. So, definitely reach out to him with questions. Reach out to Cliff with questions. I know Phil left us, but again, reach out to Country Phil. And, hey, I'm here for you guys every day. You can message me. And hey, let's grow together. All right, everyone. Enjoy your day.
Do it. Jay, appreciate you. Audience, appreciate you. Dwight, appreciate you, my brother. Take care, everyone.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.